This is a video on enlargements for IGCSE, covering some of the problems you're likely to see in assessments. So if we start with B here, describe fully the single transformation which maps triangle P onto triangle R. If you have a look at the picture, I'm going to zoom in now, P into R. It's clearly getting bigger, so we are talking about an enlargement. However, as long as we're talking about a change in size, it's termed an enlargement, even if the object gets, or the shape gets smaller. So it's important to realize you can have an enlargement by a half, which means it halves the sides. It just doesn't make sense in English, but it makes sense in maths. So the first step when you see one of these is to find some similar points. I'm going to choose the top left-hand side of P and R and draw a line between them as best I can with this iPad, which is not the best tool for the job without a ruler. Looks pretty dodgy, but it's close. And the next one is I'm going to use the bottom corners. So I think that's a long way out of whack, probably because this top one is quite wrong. Let me try that again. So drawing from through here, it's a little better. Much easier with a ruler. Okay, that's corrected it for me anyway. So this looks more like an accurate joining of these 2 points. Now this point here is called the center, or the center of enlargement. You can term it COE if you like. And we can give the coordinates of this as well. So you can see on the x-axis it's a 1 and y it's 6, so 1, 6. So we can actually start to put some of this information into the question, or into the answer. Describe fully. We begin with enlargement, which gives you 1 mark. Now, you can be really brief with the words here. It doesn't have to be very wordy. Center, and the coordinates we just found there, which was 1, 6. Then the final thing is to work out the scale factor. So if you have a look at shape P, and we'll just choose this vertical line here and this vertical line that's equivalent on the R, we can see that on P it's 2 units, and make sure of your scale here. So we go from 6 to 8, that's 2. That's 2, and so therefore into R it becomes a 3. We always talk about the destination, so we're going to R, and the origin. So destination over origin is 3 over 2. So that simplifies 3 over 2 to 1.5, 1.5. So here we can say scale factor 1.5. And there are your 3 marks. 1 for enlargement, 1 for the center and the coordinates, and 1 for scale factor. So here's another one. Pause the video and give this one a try using the same steps. Come back for the solution. Okay, let's give this a go. So again, we choose 2 similar points. I'm going to choose the top part here, and hopefully it's a little easier this time to draw a line, sort of. Oh, where's it going? Okay, it's very approximate with this because of the nature of drawing on an iPad without a ruler. Again, I think I'm miles off, so I'm going to try that again. It didn't actually seem to go through a particular coordinate. And in IGCSE generally, you will see it go through a coordinate. Try this again. That's a bit better. I've missed this a little, so it should be a little flatter in the line, so I'm going to say it's there. So our coordinates here for the center are 1 and 3. So that's 1, 3. So we're going for an enlargement, center, 1, 3. Now our scale factor. Let's choose, again, a vertical line just because there's the biggest one. That's 2 units. Again, check your scale. It goes 4 to 6, so we definitely are going 2 units. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is 4. So destination over origin, 4 over 2. Scale factor is 4 over 2, simplifies to 2. Scale factor 2. So hopefully you got the same answer as me. The other type of question is where you actually have to draw the second shape and they give you the center of enlargement and one of the shapes. So if this happens, it's a slightly different order, but we'll end up doing almost the same sorts of things except for the fact that we actually have to draw the shape. So they've given us the center, which is 2, 1. It's just here already, so that's 2 and that's 1. There's a cross on it and a scale factor of 3. So there's a couple of steps. You could draw guidelines, which I will do eventually anyway, but I'm going to start by working out how far away one of these points, in this case, we're just going to go with this bottom left-hand side. What's the vector, as it were, for that particular point? We're going to find out how big is the x and how big is the y. So we go across 3 units and up 2 units. 3 and 2. So because it's scale factor 3, we have to do that 3 times from the origin, or from this point here, from the center. So that's once. We're going to go across 3 again. That takes us to the end of our shape here. And then up 2. And then across 3 again and up 2. So this now is going to be the new bottom left-hand corner of our shape, like I've drawn here in the red dot. And our scale factor is 3. So where we have a horizontal line that's 3 units long, now it's going to be 3 times that. So 3 times 3 is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. And then from this same point, we go on T, we went up 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2, 4, 6. And then we have to draw a line between them. Okay. Often they tell you to label this particular shape, this new shape, but in this case you can just shade it just so it's easier for the examiner to see. I think it takes a second. What you should actually do before you do all of that is to make sure that you can draw a line from this center through one of the corresponding points on the first shape, and then it actually goes through the second shape. In this case, it goes from the origin through that bottom right-hand corner, and we'll do the same thing for one of the other points. We could do the middle or the top. I'll just do them both just so you can see. You can see that they all align, or we could do the top. I tend to do the outside lines generally. And that's gone skew-if. So we'll try that again. I'm not going to do it any further, but you can see what I mean. That line is very wobbly. Okay, so that's that one. Try this one. Just pause the video, give this a shot. I'll just, before I do sign off for a second, look at the scale factor. It's 2.5 times. So anything you do will have to be multiplied by 2.5, not a whole number. Give that a try, come back for the solution. All right, let's do this. The first thing to note is the center is the origin, 0, 0. So we're going from there. So let's find out how far away this bottom left-hand corner is. We have to go across 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 across. And 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 4 up. And we have to do that 2.5 times. Let's do it once more, which will make it 2 times. Across 4, up 4, and then half of the 4s, both of these 4s, is going to be 2. Let's just go across 2 and up 2. That's one way of doing it. We could have actually said, okay, we went across 4, so let's multiply that by 2.5. And we'd end up 4 times 2.5 is 10. We could have done it that way and done the same thing with the vertical, but sometimes it's easier just to do this 4, 4, 2, and 2. So this, change color again, this is our bottom left-hand corner. And now we have to consider our scale factor. So here our base is 2. So whatever was 2 times 2.5, that's 4, 5. 5 across. 1, 2, 5. It's 5 across, and then we're going vertical from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up the vertical here. 4 times 2.5 is 10 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. And then we have to obviously just draw the line between them. Now, as I said, it's a good idea to draw your guidelines here. Hopefully it works a little better than last time. From the origin through the top corner, let's go. It's close, but we may have an error here. So if I saw this, I'd be looking at my shape again to make sure I've got the right measurements. I'm going to do the bottom corner, see if we're aligned. That one looks pretty good. It may be again that I've just got a really bad line. It looks like this line's off a bit. I'll try and redo this one. You can see that it's very close. And if you had a ruler here, you'd find this much clearer. You'd see that it actually goes through that point. So, okay, I'm happy with that shape. I can shade it. Or if it tells me to label it, then I can label it. So that's those two. There's another one you can try here. Now, note here, I just wanted to bring this one in because, as I said, this is still an enlargement, but with a scale factor of half. So that means that the end shape is going to be smaller, in fact, half the size of the original. So here we can do the same thing. So we can go, we know that it's from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 across, that's 4. And 2 up, that's 2. So what's half of each of those? We have 2 across and 1 up. So this is going to be the bottom right-hand corner. Now we consider our scale factor. So let's have a look at this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So half of 4 is 2. Change color again. So 2. And then 2 up, half of 2 is 1. 1. Then join these lines. And that's our new shape. You can check it from the origin, going through both of these points. And we can even go through the middle as well if we want to. You can see they all align. That one's gone skew if again, or delete it. Same idea.